Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Let's Talk Variety Show. My name's Andy Asher.
My name's Laura Leone.
So, Laura, this is our second week together since we, decided to team up to put on a show like this. And I don't know how you look at it, but for me, I can't thank the digital landscape enough for allowing this opportunity. Really, we owe it to YouTube and all the social media because, even 10 years ago, I don't know if this would have been possible to do.
Correct, and that's really amazing because in the digital age, we get to meet a lot more interesting, and different people, and we have a lot more opportunities to do like podcasts like this.
That's really, really true. They made that a lot easier. Now, my vision of the Let's Talk Variety Show has always been a mix of entertainment and information and productivity, positivity, happiness, inspiration, what have you. And by the way, I know that you've been rooting for your hometown team, but things didn't work out the way you had hoped for. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's a local summer college team called the Lincoln Potters, and last year in 2022, they actually won the World Series for the whole West Coast, and this year they did make it to the playoffs, but unfortunately yesterday they got knocked out. So they made a good effort, but it's just a really nice, family event that anyone can go to, so I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I love amateur baseball. I go to, when I've lived in smaller towns, I've always gone to the AAA game or whatever, and it's a much more of a homey, comfortable feeling, with the popcorn vendors, and it's just more of a family environment. So I've always enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, it's really fun. And, we have a little 5-year-old, so of course he wanted, to see the peacock mascot, and that's what he mainly cared about rather than the baseball, but that's fine.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, I just love inspirational stories and people for that matter. Today's guest is like that too. Our interviewed guest is Gary Douglas, and it's possible that you don't know who he is or people who are watching today, but I met him a few years ago, and he has a lot of fans. It's because he is such an inspiration. Listen to this clip.
And for me, it's like the point of view is you gotta realize what is it, or where do I need to put my attention today? It's basically I have 15 businesses that I run right now, and so I wake up in the morning. I go, okay, where do I put my attention today? What do I need to put my attention on? What do I have to accomplish today? And I start from there.
Well, Laura, he's definitely a busy guy.
Yeah, he definitely is. Oh my God, 15 businesses, I can barely keep track of one. I mean, that's just so amazing.
It is. We'll hear a little bit more from Gary shortly. Let's dip into Mimi's Kitchen.
That's another version of couscous.
Thanks, Mimi. We will return to Mimi's Kitchen real soon. The supermarket tabloids this week have all talked about the passing of the great Tony Bennett. He had such an amazing voice, so versatile. Life magazine has a long story about the late great comedian Lucille Ball, and People magazine has a very interesting story about actor Dennis Quaid and his battle with addiction.
And then I've written some songs that are very much in the faith category, I think. And I guess what really started was On My Way to Heaven, which I wrote for my mom when I got out of what I call cocaine school back in 1990, just to let her know I was okay, because I wasn't okay before then. And we all, addiction and all that, we use things to fill a hole inside us. That's what we do.
So Laura, he has quite a background, ups and downs in life, you might say.
Yeah, I actually wasn't aware that Dennis Quaid actually does music, and so I was kind of shocked how good it actually sounds, and it's unexpected. So I don't know if you knew of that, but I thought that was pretty cool, way to deal with, I guess, addictions and things like that.
Yeah, I did not know that either. I know he has a brother, Randy Quaid, so I hope that he gets through the addiction problems and he can continue on to have a good career. I've enjoyed his acting. I like him. He's good.
Yeah, me too.
So this week's interview is with Gary Douglas. He has many thousands of followers. He is a best-selling author and international speaker. Gary Douglas is known for his intensity of awareness and his incredible capacity to facilitate people to know what they know. and he chooses to embody consciousness in everything he does, which inspires others to become more conscious as a result. Here's part of that interview.
Well, our guest is Gary Douglas, who defies everything society says about who he should be, and he does it joyfully. At 75 years old, he breeds and rides stallions, collects antiques, owns a castle in Italy, and has developed an eco-friendly lodge in Costa Rica. He is founder of Access Consciousness, a global personal development organization. Hey, Gary, thanks for joining us, and what more can I say? You're an inspiration. How do you do it?
Thanks for having me. It's easy. I get up in the morning.
That's a good start. You know, half the time they say as long as you do that, you're in good shape.
Yeah. You know, and for me, it's like the point of view is you gotta realize what is it, or where do I need to put my attention today? It's basically I have 15 businesses that I run right now. And so I wake up in the morning, I go, okay, where do I put my attention today? What do I need to put my attention on? What do I have to accomplish today? And I start from there. So I wake up and I get busy. And it's like, usually I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning because I had 4 children. And when you have 4 children, you have to get up early for so long, you finally become ingrained in getting up early. So it's kind of cool because no matter what time I wake up, somebody's awake. And I get to talk to somebody and I get to deal with things, and I have to deal with things every day.
Okay, so you know, you're 75 is what it is. It is what it is. And so some folks our age in our particular point in life do a lot less, and they, whether or not they're comfortable and happy with that, I guess it's not us to say, because each person has their own point of joy. But how do you muster that kind of energy?
Well, the main thing is it's like I don't have the point of view that there's anything I have to do, and I always choose to do what I truly want to do. And it's like if you do what you truly want to do, and instead of doing what you think you have to do, what you're doing is you're in a constant state of create instead of survival. And I don't believe in survival, I believe in thrival. And so I'm always looking for, how can I expand this? How can I make this better? How can I create more? What else is possible I haven't ever considered? My life is a series of questions designed to give me greater possibilities in every moment of every day.
Well, I think then who we're addressing are people who might be at a point where they are reaching those crucial decisions. It seems important, at least a different stage in life, the second half, whatever the case may be, retire, not retire, and they might be trying to juggle some of these thoughts of what should I do, how should I do it. You've chosen to keep very busy in what we oftentimes consider as a work world, but it's something that you enjoy doing. So how do you come to that kind of a decision as opposed to taking life easy, as the stereotype is of people our age? How do you manage to do that?
Part of what happened for me is when I was young, I was 13, I had neighbors who retired. And within 5 years, all the men were dead.
You hear that, don't you? Too often.
Yeah, way too often.
Yeah.
And it's like I went, wow, why did they die? And why would you choose to die? Why wouldn't you choose to do something that works for you? So I started questioning the people who were alive about their lives and what was fun for them, what was interesting for them, and what they were doing now. And I had one neighbor who had been in the service, and he was a gruff old man, and he was mean to his wife, and she just adored him and did everything for him. And he literally sat in his garage and judged everybody who walked by, everybody who drove by, and the entire neighborhood. And he was the biggest gossip in our entire neighborhood. And I went, this is enough for you? And I realized that for me, sitting around looking at other people having lives was never going to be my reality.
Well, that has to be almost a conscious choice. But in the particular person you just described, it makes you wonder if that's something that he was even aware of, or I suppose if he made a choice, he could have changed that.
If he'd made a choice, I agree, he could have changed it. And the interesting thing to me is I see a whole lot of people who don't recognize the choice they're making. They make these choices. I know a lady in New Zealand who, she was doing Access for a while, and then she stopped because I wasn't going to be the man she wanted me to be for her. And then she became old in her head. And when she became old, she stopped creating her life, and she started sitting around watching TV and doing nothing. And pretty soon her eyes went, and pretty soon her hearing went, pretty soon, it's like her body's falling apart, and she's wondering why. It's just get up, get going, and keep on moving. And never quit.
Yeah. Well, I do have, you aren't able to see this on your screen, but one of the things that I do have so that we make sure we address this is the 6 biggest lies we tell ourselves. I don't necessarily expect you to recite it all, but could you address that before I forget?
So the first lie that we tell ourselves is, I can't. The second one we tell ourselves is, I'm too old. The third one we tell ourselves is, my life is almost over. The fourth one we tell ourselves, oh, I guess I've accomplished all I came to accomplish this lifetime.
Well, those are pretty, I suppose, pretty blatant lies to ourselves, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they don't do us any good.
Tell ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's like, at 75, I keep creating. I don't stop.
So Laura, he's got a lot of things going on, doesn't he?
He does. Gary's amazing. I checked out his social media, and I was kind of surprised to actually see how much he's actually doing with his 15 businesses. And I like how he explained the 6 untruths of how we can become stagnant in life in general, and pretty much how to avoid that and how to keep active. That's just amazing to me to keep in mind as I slide into retirement to not become that way.
Yeah, that's right. He's inspirational to me. I like the way he thinks, and he kind of lets life come to him, and he displays that. He seems very relaxed.
Yeah, he does. Surprisingly, I was like, he's very laid back and very humble.
Exactly. Well, look, let's get back to Mimi in the kitchen. Hi, Mimi, we're back.
Today we made a nice couscous with some just onions, turnips, zucchini, and chicken, and of course some garbanzo beans. Smells so good. So some of the chicken don't have any skin on, so it's all right. I'm just gonna put it in the pan for a flash minute. Okay. Capiche? Just a bit. Voilà, le couscous. Okay. You want more sauce? It is delicious. It's light. It's nice. Bon appetit, everyone. That's another version of couscous.
Well, thanks, Mimi. You know, Laura, she's an amazing cook, and she is so good with spices, and she knows just how much to put into everything. But her background is Mediterranean food. Have you had much of that?
Yes, I actually really enjoy it. I wish I could try Mimi's personally. I really love like hummus and pitas, and I just feel like it's a healthy option. So I eat that probably about once a week, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, she makes the best hummus in the world. It's really
Oh my
good.
God, I'm jealous.
Yeah. Well, that's our show for the week, and you know, I want to thank you for supporting the show. And if you liked it or you learned something new, I want to tell you some ways that you can support the show and keep the Let's Talk Variety show going on.
Number one, get yourself subscribed. Every week we bring inspirational guests and learn something new, and they always have something interesting to share. So please hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that's a fairly simple and direct way of doing it. And then number two, and this is really kind of the ultimate way to support the Let's Talk Variety show, and it really takes less than a minute. You can write something, you know, just short and sweet, like I love the show, or something that's changed your life, or something you learned from it. And the more reviews means the higher we rank on all those algorithms, which means bigger guests. So just take a minute to leave a review.
Number three, you can hit the share button and share on social media with your friends, family. And thank you so much for supporting the Let's Talk Variety show.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.